Charlie, Ollie and Lainey, or Lainey, Ollie and Charlie. Should be the right way around.
Absolutely.
Snayx.
How are we doing?
You're in St Leonard's doing your support. No, you're not supporting. Jesus, no, sorry about
The
that.
headlines there.
Not anymore.
Normally it's the
Murderers are
case.
supporting, yeah.
Got the
So
murderers.
you're from the south coast.
Yes.
You're in Hastings a lot, St Leonard's.
Yeah.
You feel like you're from here. You just
Second
said
home
it's like
is, yeah.
Yeah, second home, gave us our first ever shows when no one in Brighton would give us a chance, and it all come from here. So it all started here, 1066.
Yeah, it always feels like a family event, right? Your gigs, or you're always supporting everyone else, so
Yes.
that's really nice to see.
Yeah, we come up with that nice wave of bands that all sort of came through from the sort of south coast, with like Kick Peachy and that. And it's just, in Hot Wax, and we're just trying to sort of find our way.
You're a later edition, right?
Yeah. About 2 years, I think now. I've been here, so.
Yeah,
Have you been
Sheffield.
seen the guys, or how did you end up?
Well, they saw me play drums in Sheffield, but I wasn't in their band. I was in another band, and they asked me to session drum, and then I'd never done any session work before, but I got a good vibe, so I said yeah, and then session drumming for a couple of years, or something like that, and then they asked me to join. So
Now you're allowed on stage.
now, now I'm allowed to. Yeah,
It's your band now.
yeah, it's my band now. Yeah, I'm allowed to eat from the rider
Ladies
now.
as
Don't touch my Christmas.
So how did you get into music? I mean, why did you pick up a guitar? Why did you sing?
I had a Smurfs cassette when I was younger, and I really got me into music. That did. Had a cover of "I Want to Be a Hippie." And just from there. Smurfs Go Pop was a banger. Yeah.
Maybe you should do that as an opener to
Yeah.
That's my first memory of music.
Oh my god, we could get it to play at the end of the set.
Yeah.
With the Smurfs, I want to be a hippie.
Yeah. But what's inspired you to be a musician?
I mean, you've got a good story about that. You finding drums and
Well,
playing
yeah.
cellos.
So when I started playing cello when I was about 7 or 8, and I played cello for years, doing grades and stuff, and then I really enjoyed it, and then I basically found Avril Lavigne when I was like 11, and I was obsessed with her, and I thought she was the coolest person in the world, and I was like, I just want to be this woman. So then I asked my mum for a guitar, and then I got a guitar for my birthday, and then I started learning that, and then I was playing guitar for a few years, and I got alright. I was never like really good. I just played it for fun. I just really enjoyed playing it, and then I went to a hairdresser. I was 16 at this point. I was 16, and I went into a hairdresser to get my hair cut, and there was a flyer in the window, and it was advertising drum lessons, and then I was like, oh, I've never really thought about that, so I just went for it then, and that was it. It was a bit of like it wasn't planned, it was just like a...
But you're a born drummer, really?
Yeah, well, as soon as I went on, I was like, where has this been all my life? Like, that was just it then, so yeah, that's my story.
You play guitar tonight?
I know my happy ending, yeah.
That'd be interesting. So you listen to Avril Lavigne, you listen to the Smurfs. What do you listen to?
Well, I started listening to Eminem. Was my first CD I bought. Was the first Eminem album. It's not. I went to Woolworths and I bought the first Eminem album. That's what I listened to before rock music was
so cool.
was the sort of like early hip hop stuff. And
now Eminem's in your band.
But now Eminem's in the band. Slim Shady over here. No, and then I used to love it on the radio, and I managed to convince my parents to let me buy it, and obviously it was like 15 at the time to buy the record, so I had to like get my mum to buy it, and when I put it on, they were like,
I can't have that.
oh no. But I think she allowed it because I didn't do the swearing, I just sort of like sung along. But and then I sort of discovered sort of like Green Day and that later, the sort of punk phase and Red Hot Chili Peppers, and sort of found like that sort of stuff. I was playing guitar for years, and then I decided I'd start singing and playing guitar, and then eventually when we got into the band I started on the guitar, but then I realised Ollie was doing so much that I didn't need to play anymore. I just could put it down, run around, and just do the vocals. So
Let him run around.
let me run around. He let me run around.
So with that varied sort of influence, if you were to support someone, who would be your dream band to support, dream act?
Somewhere between Gorillaz and the Prodigy is sort of like where we would sort of position
that's a good
ourselves.
one.
Between either of them would be
Prodigy. Yeah.
more
Gorillaz, yeah.
Prodigy
that's a
heavy,
good
but
one.
we've got a lot of influence from the Gorillaz on the softer side. But I think we like to position ourselves in a way that sort of is quite, broad. I feel like we could play like be one of the lighter bands on a really heavy lineup, but we could be one of the heavier bands on a lighter lineup, and we'd still like connect with the audience just the same.
So new material? You're playing new material tonight?
Lots of new material
Pretty
tonight.
much the
Yeah,
new set, isn't
so
it?
it's like brand new set tonight, which we haven't played before. So excited to get some of the new ones in. We've got, half the set. I was looking through, half the tracks are unreleased at this point. So
I was just going to say, anything coming up?
well, with this amount of new material, I'd hope so. So little project in the works. So just waiting, getting the ducks in a row, and then we'll.
Are we looking forward to next year then, or
Yeah.
next year's a big year, then a big tour?
Oh yeah.
Well, what's
Yeah,
your favourite gig you played?
My favourite is Download Festival
Oh, that was great.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, how many
First-
people is there?
I can't remember, it was packed 10.
It was just it was Dogtooth tent. I don't know what the capacity is, but it was round and beyond. Like there were
It was
people outside the tent.
3,000, I think.
I've never had a gig where we had, because you regularly get a mosh pit, but having one mosh pit over there and one over there, mosh pits in stereo, was like that moment where I was like, whoa! I was like, they're all going off at the same
I
time.
thought they were going to hate us at Download.
Yeah.
No, it went off. It's great.
Yeah, we thought we were first on that day, and we thought no one's going to be there. And I remember just setting up and then turning round and seeing a full tent and going, "Oh my god!" It was like before setup, before the time, where people were there waiting. So yeah, that was quite a good feeling.
Yeah, that must be a feeling, innit?
Yeah.
You look out and then everyone.
I
is
don't often
going
get
with it.
nervous, but I must admit, when I turned around and see that full tent at Download, I was going, "Oh god!" Yeah.
So, any of that coming up next year then for your release tour?
Hopefully.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I will be playing lots. We're a live band through and through, so it's whatever any chance we get to play, it's just we'll do it. We'll jump in the bus and go.
Do you still get nervous? You just said you do for a big crowd.
Very rarely, very rarely. I think that first time at Download was one of the noticeable ones that I was like, oh, okay, that's quite a show. But generally, you can throw me on the stage, I pretty much want to
You're right.
Yeah, it's like
I get nervous every
you get
gig.
nervous quite a bit.
Every,
Yeah.
like, even like little ones, I get nervous.
I find it hard to
I feel like
describe.
drummers though, we have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
How-
kind of.
If you
how
mess
do
up,
wait here?
the audience can tell.
Yeah, exactly. So
If I mess up the lyrics, no one will just go. Did that? But I don't know. The way I describe it is like when I go out on stage for those sort of bigger stages, it's like I get so much adrenaline before the show, and I hype myself up. When I go out, I'm just sort of on autopilot. I do the show, and then like after the show, I forget the whole.
I
show.
can't remember most gigs I played.
I can't remember the gig, and it's a really weird feeling because you watch videos back and go, oh yeah, I did do that, did I? And it's like but it's like I can't describe it. So, like when like sharks attack, their eyes sort of glaze over, and you're sort of like in the zone with it. It's just like that's the best way to describe it.
There's a massive energy when you're on stage, right? And you're in the crowd pretty much. You're there all over. How do you have that sort of energy? Is it the adrenaline?
Yeah, it's definitely the
gets you going?
adrenaline,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's quite cathartic. I think it's like a group release. Like when you're there with the crowd and everyone's sort of feeling that energy in the room, and like
feeds off each other.
yeah, you've got to put it out when you start, like because the crowd, if you go out and you're sort of like you're mellow, people they match your energy, and so like we go out high energy, then the crowd matches us, and then it's a push and pull, it's a give and take.
If they're not scared away, then
If they're not scared away, then but I still don't mind. I'll still get in their face.
First time actually, I saw you in Patterns supporting Capici, and
Yeah.
you
Oh,
stood
yeah.
there
Wow.
with your sparkly teeth.
I know.
Yeah, that was a throwback.
And like that face,
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a good show. That I enjoyed that. So that was their tour they did with Projector, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite quite mad, yeah. So what's on your what's coming up next? So you're working on hopefully releasing something.
Yes, so we're
Something large and just festivals. Really.
Yeah, festival season now. So yeah, we've got 2,000 Trees, we've got Boomtown, Reading and Leeds, a few in Norway. Yeah, some really good.
Norway, right?
Yeah, some shows up in Norway.
There's a little announcement coming in a week or so.
Yeah, so keep an eye for that. Yeah, it's very good.
There she is. So you've got a worst story as well. What's your worst experience on a gig or on a tour?
Oh my
They're
God.
always the best ones.
Right, we'll give you the option of sleeping on the side of the autobahn is option 1, or you've got Steam Room Alpha as number 2. What story do you want? Both of them are quite interesting tour stories.
We'll go for the Autobahn since I'm
The
German.
Oh,
you see,
yes,
there you
yes.
go. It's got
Okay.
to be. It's got to be, right?
So we've just done a tour with Royal Blood in Europe. We finished a show in Berlin, and we literally had to rush to get all of our stuff off stage and out the venue into the van before driving all the way back to Cheltenham for 2,000 Trees main stage show the next day. And it was such a rush to get everything off the stage in the rain, and then we got in the car and we were driving home, like literally just flooring it to try and get back as quickly as possible so we can make the show. And as we're going, we just see the van starts getting really hot. You know, we're sort of sending it. I mean, this is a heavy, full van, and we're like pushing like 90 plus like miles per hour, just trying to get home. And then I think you take a shift at like 2 a.m. where we're going to just drive non-stop through the night, and then suddenly it's just like it's getting hot, and then suddenly it's just pop, and then it just pops, and then the van just sort of like dies, and we just roll into the side of the autobahn. We still got the van; it's just around there.
I was just going to say, I think you're quite famous for broken down vans, aren't you?
It still lives somehow. But it broke down, and we called for help, and we were told that we didn't have breakdown insurance, although we thought we did. So that was a mistake, a lesson to be learned. Yeah, the first blow. And the second blow was that we weren't going to be rescued until the next day. So I think it was just, I just remember just being stuck at the side of the autobahn in the rain. It was just horrible all the way through the night at the side of the road, and like just the sound of the lorries going past, I think hurt my ears more than the shows with Royal Blood, which is saying something. But I remember just the next day just having like tinnitus and my ears ringing. It was all from the lorries. But but it ended up being okay the next day after we got rescued eventually. We sort of had a little
shit, mate.
Well, we just decided no one could drive. We had to wait to be rescued, and we weren't going to make the show, so we decided to just buy a few beers and get drunk.
Yeah,
we did.
I remember
we left the van in Germany.
Yeah,
we eventually recovered it, put a new engine in it. We spent more than the value of the van recovering it and getting it to work. But
there's no signal at 2,000 Trees, so no one knew that we weren't coming.
Yeah.
So our slot comes up, and then we got the Users instead, though, which is a great band.
Yeah, great band. So people were very confused.
Snayx a bit different today.
Yeah. But it was a hellish experience. Just me at the side of the road. I'd got a cushion out of the van, just in my high vis, just closing my eyes to try and just block it out. The traumatic experience. It was.
Cycle lane.
There you go.
Yeah.
We love you, Snayx!
Love you now.
Well, there you go.
You're from Brighton!
Right.
So, any tips on anyone starting out making music?
Don't do it.
Yeah, but why not? Why not?
No,
do it.
So definitely do it. It's the best thing you can do. But
Don't drive a van, though.
yeah, I mean, well, you kind of have to. It's part of the game. But I'd say, just make sure you just like be on the scene, meet lots of people, try and be as active as you can, because it's all about connections, and meeting people, and going to gigs. Don't
Be part of the scene.
Yeah, don't do a gig and then expect loads of people to come if you're not going to shows yourself.
Meet like-minded people, have a great time.
And that's how it all
Go support your grassroots music venues.
Go to your venues and listen to
Like
bands.
the Piper.
Well, there we go. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I've got my knee support on for tonight, so there you go. I'm ready.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have a good gig.
Big up Hastings Rock.
Come on.
Do you listen sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
This
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Have you?